One of the most frequent problems when we have pets is excess hair, which often ends up in our clothes or furniture and can be very difficult to remove. So if you are looking to remove your pet's hair effectively, you are in the right place. This video will address issues such as the causes of this happening, the consequences it can bring, how to control it, and of course, the methods to remove hair from clothes and furniture. So if you are only interested in a specific topic, at this moment I leave you an on-screen menu with the minute in which each topic is talked about. Otherwise, I would appreciate it if you watch the full video. The dog and cat are the pets that have accompanied man the most throughout history, as they are the most common domestic animals in the world. However, having them brings a lot of responsibilities, risks, and some other problem. Unfortunately, the coat pulled everywhere is one of the most present since both species change hair from time to time. However, you should know that this situation in our partners is not a problem that should be taken lightly, because the coat can bring serious consequences that affect the rest of the family, such as health problems. Before knowing some methods to treat this problem, you should know the causes so that you reduce the hair loss of your pet and avoid it as much as possible, since we cannot eliminate this problem completely. So, some causes of excessive hair loss in our colleagues are: Number 1. Poor nutrition. If your pet doesn't get the right foods to stay healthy, his body will begin to have consequences that include excessive hair loss. Mainly, it is due to the lack of protein in your body, so you should make sure that his diet includes meat, especially chicken and turkey. In addition, to contribute to a healthier diet, you can watch the video that is appearing on screen about toxic foods in our pets. Number 2. Parasites. Remember that one of the most important attentions you should give your partner is deworming. When you deworm your cat or dog, you are helping him to have a better life. You protect him and you protect yourself. If you do not, your friend will scratch frequently and desperately because of the itching caused by the parasites. Here I will leave you a video on how to eliminate external parasites in your cat, such as fleas and ticks. Tips that can also work if you have a dog, just click on the card above. Number 3. Stress. This happens more in cats than in dogs. It turns out that some cats are stressed for some reasons, which makes them scratch excessively in specific areas, which means that they do not have hair in that part due to frequent grooming, which later causes more health problems by the hairs you swallow when cleaning your own body. Number 4. For moving fur. As I said at the beginning, it is inevitable that our companions pull hair since it is also a normal and natural cycle that they must do. It occurs mainly during the changes in the seasons of the year, since it is at that time when the temperature changes, because at the beginning of spring they have a thinner coat to be cooler in times of heat, and during the autumn they change it for a more abundant coat that resists the cold of winter. Having mentioned the most common causes of this happening, let's look at some methods to remove hair from our friends. Number 1. Wet hand. The first method is the simplest of all, and we only need a little water and our own hand. The only thing we have to do is moisten our hand a little and then pass it over the clothes. Obviously, we should not use a lot of water to not wet the shirt, therefore we must use little amount. As our hand dries, we will moisten it again and so on until finished. Of course, the hair that remains in our hand will have to be deposited somewhere, either the trash can or what they have on hand, or we just shake. In my case, I am using an atomizer so that the water is just what I need, no more and no less, but you can use water from the sink or whatever you have at your disposal. I suggest you do this with the clothes placed on some surface, such as the bed, since that way it is easier. And as you can see so easily and quickly, I have removed the hair from my shirt. Number 2, use adhesives. If you can buy special adhesive rollers to do this, it would be perfect. You find them in veterinarians or pet stores. But if you do not have this object, do not worry, you can use a cheaper and easier home method that consists of tape. All we have to do is give it this shape around our hand to make it more comfortable and practical to use. Now we put it in our hand and begin to remove the hair from our garments or furniture. As you can see, the only thing we must do is put it on and take it off, put it back on and take it off again, and so on until we withdraw as much as possible. If there comes a point where the tape has too much hair, you will have to change it for a new one. The problem with this method is that it takes longer and can be boring, so it's not very practical if you're trying to remove hair from garments or large furniture. Of course it works, but it's tedious. Number 3, water. It should preferably be used with an atomizer. This is to avoid that the water is too much and ends up wetting the object to which we want to remove the hair. It is similar to the wet hand method, but in this case we must spray water on the garment and then remove the hair using our hand. This is the method that I recommend the least, since the clothes can get wet more than they should, although it is also quite easy and fast. However, in cases of clothing that you must use immediately, better use any other option. Number 4, kitchen sponge. Especially any like the one that is appearing on the screen right now, you should use the green side as it is the roughest, therefore it will pick up your dog's or cat's hair better than the yellow side. But if you do not find this type, I recommend one like this that I got, since it is practically the same material. All you have to do is pass it over the surface you want to clean, and you will notice how from the beginning the hair adheres to the fiber. The problem with the sponge is that after passing it a couple of times it is filled with hair and it is complicated to use it. In that case you will have to take away what you have stuck and put it where you want, such as the trash can. Once we have cleaned our sponge, we can continue to use it again and again. Now I will try the sponge on this other surface, since here the hair is not very noticeable. In fact, it seems that it does not have. As we see the fiber is clean, let's pass it and see what happens. As you can see, there was, so the fiber I recommend more in objects such as blankets or sweaters. Number 5, brush our pet. Routine brushing is extremely important in our dogs and cats, because in this way we remove dead hair and thus prevent it from leaving it all over the house. All you need is the right comb or brush for your pet, since the ideal depends on whether it is long hair or short hair. In my case, I will use this common comb with my dog. As we can see, he doesn't seem to have any loose hair on his body, but then I'll pass him the comb a couple of times and you'll see the difference. As you can see, it turns out that if I had, then I remove it from the comb and continue. It is noticeable that each time there is a little less. However, this brushing must be done frequently to prevent all that hair from being pulled throughout the house. Now that you know these methods, you only have to apply the one that best serves you, so that combined with good nutrition, deworming, and ideal brushing, you forget about the coat throughout the house. I invite you to subscribe for more videos like this. You can also follow our networks for more content. Let's keep the Gary's legend alive.